Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network, coming to you live from Nashville Superspeedway, bringing you the Era Cup Series. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder. And unlike real-life NASCAR, we have beautiful weather for tonight's race. Skies are partly cloudy. 81 degrees out. That track temperature sitting a nice cool 85, but it's going to cool off as that sun goes down. But once again, we are coming to you live from Nashville Superspeedway, where these drivers are going to be competing for 150 laps tonight. And that competition is heating up. Only 3 races left until the chase begins, and we're going to take a look at our points breakdown coming into this one. Seth LaCroix has moved to the top of the points standings with 245 points. David Joyner in second with 234 points. And judging by tonight's leaderboard, Seth LaCroix looks like he might be in a position to run away with it. He was top of the leaderboard for most of practice, now sitting in second on that leaderboard. Only a 1/100th of a second off of the pace of Dawson Price, who we've seen him competitive week in and week out, still hunting for that first win here. But all eyes are on the back of the cut line, where Joseph Truskowski has dropped down to, or Joseph Truskowski is tied for 10th place with Joseph Miller. We've got that battle of the Josephs coming tonight, both with 144 points. But sitting on the outside looking in is Connor Price in 12th with 137 points. And Connor Price with a solid time here in practice. He currently sits 5th atop our leaderboard. And going back just outside of the top 12, Tyler A. Green, who is currently sitting 13th with 109 points, is going to miss this race. I just spoke to him earlier tonight, so that is going to open up that 13th position for Russell Abbott to move up. But I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to make up that gap over between him and Joseph Truskowski to get above that cut line. And as we move back down to the track, taking a look at actually Joseph Truskowski setting a fast time. He just laid down a 29.92. Seth LaCroix back on top of the leaderboard with 29.88. This competition, or this track, is speeding up as the night goes on. And an update for the rules for tonight's event. These drivers are going to be given 6 sets of tires to complete this race, 65% fuel, and no quick repairs to get this one done. And our stage breaks tonight will be at lap 33 and lap 83. So as always, they can make it to the end of stage 1 with no pit stop. Are going to have to pit it in stage 2 and 3 to get this one done. Time in practice is winding down, and we do have some cool announcements coming up with the Rebel Racing Network as well. We will be adding a new league Thursday nights, and we're not going to release the information yet, but they are coming Thursday night starting June 18th. And they are bringing some big sponsors and some big name racers. So stay tuned on our Facebook page for more information on that when we will be releasing that as it comes closer to the start of their league. And as time is winding down in practice, it currently looks like we have about 18 drivers registered for this one. So still a solid field here. A couple of drivers have not returned to the league since about our midway point. But still a very good showing. And we were talking to a couple of these guys as the race went on. They said the track is already very loose. And that looks like it is going to continue as that sun sets. Update on our weather. It looks like it is already cooling off 2 degrees already on the outside air temperature. So it's going to cool off fast as this one goes on. And this track is going to change a lot as the night goes on. And as we wait for qualifying to start, we are going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks. Qualifying, getting ready to get underway. And Donald Bussier joining the chat over on Facebook, ready for some racing tonight. And we'll get at least one race in tonight. Not sure about the Cup Series in NASCAR, but we are here to bring you all the Nashville Superspeedway you can get here on the Rebel Racing Network. As Seth LaCroix taking the track for qualifying, along with Jackson Sibley. And checking in with the 17 of Joshua Edmonds. Donald Bussier, a fan of him, cheering him on as Edmonds running the top line, trying to carry as much speed as he can as he crosses that start and finish line. And the timing will start. And time's starting to roll in here. Joseph Truskowski currently sitting on the pole. He's had his struggles here in Era. We've seen him he can be absolutely dominant on the track. We saw it in Nora the past 2 seasons, but he is an aggressive driver and sometimes struggles to keep that car under control, which we just saw there as he's going to tap that outside wall. That's going to put an end to his qualifying run. Dawson Price and Seth LaCroix getting out in front of Joseph Truskowski. Price sitting in the pole position for the time being. David Joyner's coming on track now as well. He's got his first time in 30.06, 0.3 of a second off of the pole sitter. We'll see what he does on lap 2. And just a little bit faster, only 0.03 of a second faster for David Joyner. He's going to move into that 6th position. So we go towards the back of the pack. Jerry Ward in that 89 car. His first time 30.32. Let's see what he can do on lap 2. And Christina Edmonds joining the chat. Talking about her pool. And it sounds like if Josh Edmonds can pull a win off here tonight, they're going to have a pool party and celebration. Jerry Ward getting loose there off of turn 1 after his qualifying run. His second lap, not much better. 30.32 for, or 30.3 or 30.51 for Jerry Ward on his second lap. He's going to have to take that car in for repairs before this one gets underway. And it looks like most everyone has gotten their times in. Omar Rodriguez Jr., though, still on track. And Christina, if you know any or can recommend to anyone to clean a pool, you know, I could sure use some help. I've been trying to work on mine all weekend. Now that the sun's finally out here in North Carolina. Omar Rodriguez, I think he might have tapped that outside wall there at the end of his second lap. It looks like he did. His second lap time 30.24 for Edmonds. And it looks like that is going to round up qualifying. And Edmonds running a Green Day paint scheme. Here, once again, it is band night in the Era Cup Series since we are in Music City this weekend. And it looks like that is going to round up our qualifying. And we do apologize, folks. We are not going to have the opening ceremonies this evening. A small hard drive issue with the flyover. We did not have that made up for tonight. We will get that back on track next week. And Christina saying pool shock. I've got the green out. Now I just can't get my water to clear. So we're working on that. And as these drivers make their way down to pit road, we're going to go ahead and run through our official starting grid tonight. Starting in the pole position will be the 24 of Dawson Price. Seth LaCroix will start to his outside in second, driving the number 88. Connor Price will roll off third, driving the number 48. Joseph Truskowski will start fourth, driving the number 57. Tristan Haynes will roll off fifth in the 02 car. David Joyner to his outside in the 85, starting sixth. Joshua Edmonds will start seventh, driving the number 17 car. Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to roll off eighth, driving the number 92. Hunter Geyer will start ninth, driving the number 2 car. Jackson Sibley to his outside in 10th, driving the 20. Curtis Stanford will roll off 11th, driving the number 26. And to his outside will be Wesley Carter in the 23 car, starting 12th. And starting 13th will be Cooper Liardi driving the number 7 machine. Joseph Miller will start 14th in the number 16. Eric Rodeman will start 15th driving the number 96. Jerry Ward will start 16th driving the number 89. Nicholas Warner will roll off 17th driving the number 3. Russell Abbott will roll off 18th driving the number 4. Chris Jones in 19th driving the number 76. And ignore that 20th. That is our race control, Matt Beneke. He will show up on the grid. We will try and get that worked out on the scoring tower, though. And that pace car now moving. We are getting ready to get this one underway as Dawson Price follows that pace car off. And they make their way around the track for their parade lap. As they get lined up, we've got a lot of band paint schemes here tonight. And honestly, I'm surprised that 24 of Dawson Price not running the Tate Productions Tate Productions bands or paint scheme tonight. That is our favorite band here at Rebel Racing Network because he makes all of our music for the Rebel Racing Network. So big shout out to him on band night. But that pace car is off and we are getting ready to go green. And the green flag is out. We are off and racing. Dawson Price taking off, not able to clear Seth LaCroix. LaCroix battling hard on that outside. Now Dawson Price going to get out ahead of him, and he's going to pull up the track in front of Seth LaCroix. But here comes his brother, Connor Price, in that 48 car, working his way underneath Seth LaCroix. And it looks like that top line is not where LaCroix wants to be. So they make their way down the front stretch, and Joseph Truskowski making a dive for that inside line. He's looking to get underneath of Seth LaCroix in that 88. Not quite going to get there. And LaCroix, now that he's single file, able to get that car to the bottom of the track, and he's going to try and defend on Joseph Truskowski. And they've got the single file here pretty early on. Looks like we've got a battle back in the pack between Omar Rodriguez Jr. and Tristan Haynes. Rodriguez Jr. to the inside, Haynes to the outside. Rodriguez Jr. trying that high side, trying to get around his teammate Joshua Edmonds, and Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to get to the touch that outside wall. He comes back down the track. He makes contact with that 0-2 of Tristan Haynes. That's going to knock Haynes off the pace there. Haynes had a good run. That contact, Haynes has got to get that car back under control. And as we go back to the front of the pack, it looks like we're going to have a battle of the brothers here as Connor Price has closed that gap with his brother Dawson, and they get ready to go at it for the lead. And David Joyner trying that outside line to get by Joseph Truskowski, not able to beat him off of the turn. But Joyner showing some speed. Truskowski hanging out back in fourth. And he is just trying to hang on to his chase position right now. And speaking of chase positions, Joseph Miller on that 16, currently running 13th at the moment. He is going to have to pick it up if he wants to lock himself into that chase. Connor Price, the first car out on the outside looking in, Only 7 points behind Joseph Miller, but Connor Price is up front, battling for the lead right now. Joseph Miller back here in 13th. He's going to have to find something if he wants to hold on to his position. As we go back to the front of the pack, Connor Price going to back it off for the time being. Seth LaCroix closing that gap with Connor. It looks like Connor Price maybe not taking care of his tires the way he needed to. Seth LaCroix really closing in here. Only 8 laps into the scheduled 33 for stage 1. Now LaCroix going to try that outside line. I don't think he's got enough to get to him right there, and that's going to open up the door for Truskowski to get a nose inside of LaCroix. Truskowski backing it down hard, trying to stick that car on the low line. But he's going to hang right there with Seth LaCroix. And the battle is for third. And David Joyner sitting back there just waiting for his opportunity to try and get by these guys. And Joyner got to be enjoying this. Just let them burn up their tires and make your move when that battle is over. Joshua Edmonds getting ready to get in the mix here as well. He's gotten to the inside of David Joyner. And they are 2x2 as they make their way down the front stretch. Now Joseph Truskowski going to get out of it here. He's going to let Seth LaCroix have that position. A smart move by Truskowski to back it out there. Him and Seth LaCroix, neither one given an inch, but they were sure working those tires hard. He waited until Edmonds got up to David Joyner, and they're going to battle it out. That's going to give Truskowski and LaCroix the opportunity to pull away from these two. As Edmonds trying to hold that inside line. Now 12 laps in the books. And a look at our leader, Dawson Price, still in control of this one. Connor Price waiting for his opportunity. And Ben Smith entering the chat, rooting everyone on, wishing them good luck. We miss you on track, Ben. Please come back. And an update, looks like Hunter Geyer being shown out of this race. We do not see him on track. Looks like an issue. He's not able to join the race tonight. We see him still in Discord. We're going to go ahead and try and figure out what happened here. And take a moment to talk to Hunter Geyer. Hunter, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, buddy, I got you.
All right, man. We're just going through our scoring here, and we notice you've not turned a lap. Correction.
Turning laps now, but I literally lost power as soon as the race was about to leave pit road. It was just like a small power blip, so we're just gonna see how it goes. You know, running from the back again. Felt like I had a little bit of speed, but I don't know. I might talk to race control. Maybe they'll forgive me and give me a couple wave rounds to try to get back in it. But not looking good in my camp again, so it is what it is.
All right, well, we appreciate it. We do apologize for pulling you up right after you came on track. We'll send you back down to your team, buddy.
It's all right, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right, and that was Hunter Geyer. You know, the second time this week, I think I've pulled him up into the booth, and he was just pulling that car back out on track. So we do apologize to Hunter Geyer. It can be very distracting having the broadcaster in your ear while you're trying to turn laps. But he is currently being scored 11 laps down. And Mike Hill entering the chat over on Facebook, rooting for Door to Door and Angel Flight Racing. And yes, Mike, he does seem to have the worst luck no matter where he goes. And an update, taking a look at the actual NASCAR race. They are still not underway yet as we wait to find out and see what's going to happen there. But I do see some clear skies and track grind efforts going on over there. Now 18 laps into this one, and it has been all Dawson Price, but Seth LaCroix looking to close that gap. So they've got it sorted out, single file up front here, but Omar Rodriguez Jr. battling with Tristan Haynes. Again, Haynes to Rodriguez is inside. All right, Mike, we do miss you here as well, but we are glad that you are tuning in. And we'll be excited to see your return to the track once that work schedule gets worked out and you can continue competing. So Tristan Haynes getting that position back from Omar Rodriguez Jr. and Jackson Sibley closing in with Rodriguez as well. And it looks like Rodriguez maybe not taking care of those tires and starting to struggle here in the middle of this run. And we'll ride along on the hood of that Jackson Sibley car. And correction, guys, Jackson Sibley trying to track down Omar Rodriguez Jr. We were actually looking at the 2 of Hunter Geyer there, because he's finally gotten back on track. And man, we are sorry we were missing this at the beginning of the race. A very cool paint scheme there done by Bird Wraps Race Wraps, an official sponsor here on the Rebel Racing Network. All those paint schemes done by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Hunter Geyer, driver of that number 02 car. And he's outdone himself with that one. And we've got a development here up at the front of the pack. Connor Price falling 2 positions. Seth LaCroix and Joseph Truskowski getting by him. It looks like there may have been an issue out of Connor Price. We're going to go back and see what happened here. Oh, Connor Price getting loose. That opened up the door for LaCroix. Price on the low side, trying to get that car back up to speed. David Joyner and Truskowski going to get by him as well. It looks like Connor Price was able to get back by David Joyner after that mistake, but he's got to be kicking himself right now. That's sure not going to help keeping those tires cool and in good shape as this one goes on. But the good news, we only have about 9 laps left in stage 1, and then we're going to see some pit stops here. So Seth LaCroix will move into second. He's running a falling in reverse paint scheme here tonight. Looking further back in the pack, Cooper Liardi trying to hold off Eric Rodman. Rodman able to get by Liardi. Now Liardi's going to have to deal with that 3 of Nicholas Warner in his rearview mirror. So, Nicholas Warner, Joseph Miller, both going to get by Cooper Liardi, and it looks like that 7 having an issue here. Liardi falling back to 14th. And we'll go back up towards the front of the pack. Joshua Edmonds working on David Joyner. He just clears him as we go to him. And Connor Price battling it out with Joseph Truskowski, and they are close racing right there. Price not giving Truskowski any sort of room. Truskowski getting that run on the top line. Price getting the run off of the corner. Neck and neck as they go down the backstretch. And Price is going to clear Joseph Truskowski and take that 3rd position back. But now he's got to track down this man right here, that 88 of Seth LaCroix. LaCroix opening up that gap to a 2.5 seconds over Connor Price. So Connor Price just going to try and hold on to that 3rd position for the next 3 laps until our stage 1 break. And back in the pack, David Joyner now giving up that 6th position to Tristan Haynes. Hunter Geyer racing his way up, trying to get at least a lap back. I don't think he's going to be able to do it here. Dawson Price showing that speed. He is pulled away from Seth LaCroix. Almost a 2nd gap between those two. So you see Wesley Carter in that 23 car getting tight coming off of turn 2. He goes up and touches the wall there. I'm sorry, that was turn 4. Making contact with that outside wall. And the end of stage 1, Dawson Price is going to take the stage 1 win. Seth LaCroix coming home 2nd in stage 1. Connor Price in 3rd. Joseph Truskowski in 4th. Joshua Edmonds going to round out your top 5. So Joseph Truskowski getting some much needed stage points here. As that yellow flag will fly. And we will take a quick commercial break.
Every race car starts the same. Just a shell, waiting for identity. Because every car can race, but not every car gets remembered. Custom. Bold. Built to stand out. Bird wraps. Don't just race, be remembered.
All All right, they've got him slowed down. Hunter Geyer looks like he's going to get some laps back here. And he will be in position for a lucky dog. Not sure if race control is going to cut him any slack on that power outage. Definitely a frustrating night for that 2 car as pit stops have commenced here. You see LaCroix all over that back bumper of Dawson Price. LaCroix really wants that lead position. Dawson Price is going to have the advantage here as this race goes on, being able to control this next restart. And Dawson Price going to, oh no, Seth LaCroix going to win the race off pit road. Dawson Price falls to second. Connor Price in third. Joseph Truskowski in fourth. Josh Edmonds will come off fifth. Tristan Haynes in sixth. Jackson Sibley will exit pit road in seventh. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in eighth. Wesley Carter in ninth. And Joseph Miller rounding out your top 10 once we get back underway here. Hunter Geyer getting a couple laps down, or a couple laps back. They're going to do their best to try and get him back on the lead lap. Since that incident was out of his control, he's going to pull it down pit road now. It looks like he might have been given a black flag for speeding on pit road. Not good for that 2 car as they are doubling them up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. All right, that pace car is off. Seth LaCroix in control of this restart. Green flag is out. LaCroix going to get the jump here. Connor Price did not go. Now Connor Price getting that car up to speed. I don't think Seth LaCroix wanted to give his teammates any help. LaCroix won that win. He talked about not being as strong here at Nashville Superspeedway a week ago. He absolutely hates this track, but he's got to have some mixed feelings right about now as he is leading. So LaCroix opening up that lead early on here. Dawson Price trying to close that gap up. They are single file behind them. And Omar Rodriguez Jr. trying to go to work on his teammate of Joshua Edmonds yet again. Rodriguez Jr. to the inside there. We go back to look at the front of the pack. Seth LaCroix still in charge of this one. Dawson Price, now that the car's up to speed, he is closing the gap. We're going to see if he can take care of his tires enough to get by Seth LaCroix at the end of this stage. Once again, this stage is going to end on lap 88. So they will need to pit at least once during this stage. And judging by the way stage 1 went, it's probably going to be some green flag pit stops here. Seth LaCroix, very good at making those green flag pit stops, getting on and off of pit road early or quickly. And we saw how good his team was, getting him out just in front of his teammate Dawson Price under caution. And back of the pack, we're going to take a look at David Joyner, driver of that number 85, as he tries to go to work on that 20 of Jackson Sibley. Joyner all over that rear bumper. Now Joyner going to move to the inside of Sibley. Or Joyner going to move to the inside of Sibley. He is there. We're going to see if he can complete this pass. And Joyner is going to get by Jackson Sibley. So Joyner now to 8th. And an update on Hunter Geyer now being scored just 9 laps down. He gets 2 back underneath that caution. So it looks like he is going to get some help from race control. But we can only guarantee 1 more caution in this one. A lot of clean racing tonight. And at that rate, he will still end up being 7 laps down unless we see some cautions as this one goes on. And we'll go back to the front of the pack. Tristan Haynes putting that pressure on Connor Price now. Oh, and it looks like we've got an issue for Russell Abbott going off track here. Go look, see what happened here. Abbott getting loose. He's going to go for a ride through the infield. And trying to get that car under control. He's going to hit that outside wall. And slide down to the inside of turn 1. No caution yet. Abbott heavily damaged right side. Definitely some wheel damage there for that 21 car. And it looks like he's getting ready to pull it down pit road. So now Russell Abbott going to fall multiple laps down here, it looks like. Oh, Russell Abbott going to bypass pit road and continue on. But it looks like Jerry Ward also having the same issue. Ward going through the inside, or the infield there. He's able to keep that car under control, though. As Jerry Ward trying to get back up to speed here. So Seth LaCroix in control of this one, and he's opening up that gap with clean air over Dawson Price. And keep your eye on that 0-2 of Tristan Haynes. We saw him struggle at the beginning of stage 1, but has gotten his positions back and then some. He started 5th, now up to 4th, and showing some speed in that 0-2 Detroit Red Wings car. And an update on the weather, guys. Once again, the temperature when we started this broadcast was 81 degrees. That temperature now dropping down to 75. That track is cooling off, and it is cooling off quickly. And I think that is going to make a difference as this one goes on. We've seen 2 cars already get loose off of turn 4. And we're less than 20 laps into this second stage. I think a couple of these drivers not really expecting that change in track temperature to affect them that much. But when you combine it with fresh tires, it feels like a whole new car out there for these guys. And looking at that 57 of Joseph Truskowski, I do believe he was just having an issue with blinking. So that's going to be something we're going to want to keep an eye on for the remainder of this race. And we've already had some internet/power issues take effect for some of these guys. I know Truskowski does not want to see that happen because he is sitting just above that cut line and wants to make sure he stays there. And the caution is going to fly. Looks like Joseph Truskowski caught up in this. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened here. And it looks like Truskowski just going to get loose coming off of turn 2. He gets that car sideways, but it looks like he's going to keep that car clean, but enough to get Era to slow this race down. And we're going to see some pit stops here. Seth LaCroix, Tristan Haynes staying out. And it looks like the rest of the field coming down. Dawson Price leading them down pit road. So only 2 drivers staying out, and that's going to change some things up. And James Price just giving me the update that the Cup Series has just gone green. Thank you, James. I'm going to turn my attention to that for just a second. And I think I see Denny Hamlin getting a penalty here. Going before he was supposed to. So Connor Price is going to lead them off of pit road. Actually, correction, Josh Edmonds is going to win the race off of pit road. He and David Joyner looks like they only took 2 tires here. So Dawson Price winning the race off, or coming off of pit road 3rd. Connor Price in 4th off of pit road. So Edmonds and David Joyner are going to move on up. Edmonds now up to 3rd. And we're going to see what he can do with those 2 tires. As they double them up, getting ready to go back green. And Charles Sherrow saying Omar Rodriguez Jr. needs to do better. Rodriguez currently sitting in 7th as they get ready to go back green flag racing. So when the green flag drops, Seth LaCroix is still your leader. Tristan Haynes in 2nd. Edmonds in 3rd. David Joyner in 4th. Dawson Price in 5th. Connor Price in 6th. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in 7th. Jackson Sibley in 8th. Carter in 9th, and Nicholas Warner rounding out your top 10. That pace car is off, and we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. And the green flag is out. Seth LaCroix, Tristan Haynes taking off almost in unison. They definitely got the jump on the rest of the field. LaCroix going to move up in front of Haynes very early on here. But the battle is for 3rd. Joyner's gotten to the outside of that Joshua Edmonds car, and they're going to battle it out. So they go down into turns 3 and 4. And oh, that looked dangerous. That was Russell Abbott leaving pit lane. It looks like he almost came up into the field there. I'll go take a look at that one more time. And he is dealing with that right front damage. He hits the apron, and you could just tell that car does not want to turn. That did move the 20 of Jackson Sibley up the track. And he's got to be careful, make sure he doesn't get a black flag from ERA as this one goes on. We're going to go back live. Tristan Haynes still holding on to the 2nd spot. David Joyner getting by Josh Edmonds. But Tristan Haynes and Seth LaCroix opening up the gap early on here. LaCroix with almost a 2nd lead over those cars on new tires. So now the battle of the brothers continues. Connor Price getting to the outside of his brother Dawson. And Connor Price going to take 4th place away from Dawson Price. As we look further back in the pack, the battle continuing between Josh Edmonds and Omar Rodriguez Jr. So Edmonds still trying to find a way around that 92 of Omar Rodriguez Jr. Unable to do it yet. So we've completed 66 laps of the scheduled 150. Seth LaCroix still our leader. And some Russell Abbott fans enter in the chat. Unfortunately, Russell Abbott still struggling with that right front damage. Honestly, I think the pit crew might have made it worse. That car definitely does not look like it wants to turn. So we go back to the front of the field. Tristan Haynes trying to reel in Seth LaCroix. David Joyner on those two fresh tires, definitely showing some speed. Looks like he may be able to close that gap up with Seth LaCroix, but here comes that 48 of Connor Price. Price looking faster and faster as this one goes on and that track cools off with that sundown. The lights are officially on here. And checking in with Dawson Price, it looks like whatever adjustments have been made to that 24 car have not paid off for him. He's a... Oh, caution. Caution is out. And it looks like this time involving Russell Abbott. The struggles continue for him. We were talking about that car not looking like it wanted to turn. And there it looks like he's working that wheel just too hard. He's going to send it through the infield down on that back stretch. And getting that grass and dirt all over those tires is going to make it even harder to control that car, and he sends it around. That'll bring up our second caution for cause of the night. And we will step aside for a quick commercial break.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle, quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. Does not look like any takers on pit road here, with the exception of Russell Abbott. He's going to have to get that car worked on. And it looks like Russell Abbott's night might be over here. He's being shown out of his car. So they're going to double them up, get ready to go back green flag racing. So David Joyner has now moved into that third position. Seth LaCroix still our leader. Tristan Haynes in second. We're going to see what David Joyner can do with those two fresh tires. And see if he can possibly get around Seth LaCroix and Tristan Haynes. They've got to be careful with those worn tires here. All right, and we've got an update on Russell Abbott. He is back in his car, back out on track. He's going to try and turn some more laps and at least salvage some points out of this one. That green flag's going to wave here. Seth LaCroix taking off down into turn 1. 74 laps into this one. Only 14 more laps until our next stage break. Now they get single file early on here up front, battling 2x2 back in the pack. So Tristan Haynes not getting the restart he was looking for. David Joyner closing that gap up really quickly. We're going to see if David Joyner can find a way around him. And we have officially reached our halfway point, folks. Joyner to the outside of Tristan Haynes. Not able to clear him as they come down the front stretch, but I do believe David Joyner will clear him as they come off of turn 2. He's going to get that run. He's clear right now. Tristan Haynes going to surge at the end of turn 2. But not enough to hold on to that position and stay alongside him. Now David Joyner, nothing in between him and the leader. LaCroix has the advantage of the clean air out in front of him. And it is hard to pass. Oh, caution is out. And it looks like this might be for Russell Abbott again. And I think that is going to officially end his night. So now we've got some takers on pit road. Dawson Price coming down pit road. Joshua Edmonds, Omar Rodriguez, Wesley Carter, Jerry Ward, Jackson Sibley all coming down pit road. Trying to look for an advantage here. This will be the third set of tires these guys have put on that car. And they are not wasting anything for the end of this race. Or saving anything for the end of this race. So Seth LaCroix still our leader. David Joyner in second. Tristan Haynes in third. Connor Price in fourth. Joseph Truskowski going to make it way back up to fifth after spinning earlier on in this one. Nicholas Warner in sixth. Eric Rodeman in seventh. Joseph Miller up to eighth. Chris Jones in ninth. And Cooper Liardi rounding out your top 10. And they are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. David Joyner going to have the advantage of starting on the front row now, but LaCroix still with the advantage of controlling this restart as the lights on the pace car are out. And be careful there because Connor Price to the outside as well. And I think we're going to see Connor Price clear Tristan Haynes here when we go green flag racing. And that pace car is off. We're getting ready to go back racing, folks. The green flag is out. LaCroix getting the jump. Oh, Tristan Haynes gets the jump as well. David Joyner not getting the restart we expected out of him. Joseph Truskowski going to clear Joyner as well. Truskowski now to third. Looks like David Joyner may have given Truskowski a shot in the back there. It's Truskowski moving to that high line, trying to get by Tristan Haynes. Truskowski, caution is out. This time involving Dawson Price. And we'll go back, take a look here. It looks like Dawson Price just got checked up, and then the 76 if Chris Jones gets into him, he goes sideways. Maybe some slight contact with the wall there as well. And now the pit stops will start. This happened on lap 82, so only 6 laps left until the stage end. Wesley Carter, Josh Edmonds, Omar Rodriguez Jr., and Jerry Ward going to stay out. So LaCroix going to win the race off of pit road here. But it'll be Wesley Carter who gets to control this restart. And it looks like they're just Carter, Edmonds, Rodriguez, Jerry Ward, all looking for some stage points. So Wesley Carter currently sitting 7th in points. Nicholas Warner 8th. Oh, correction, Nicholas Warner was on pit road that last time by, but Wesley Carter making sure he's going to get those stage points and can lock himself in to our top 11 just above the cut line here. All right, and they're going to double them up, get ready to go back green flag racing. And Joseph Benson is here over on Facebook. Glad to have you here, buddy. And we're still waiting your return to the track here on Rebel Racing Network. But that pace car is off. The green flag is out. Wesley Carter going to get the jump. Lap 84 underway. Only 4 laps until the stage end. As Omar Rodriguez Jr. and Josh Edmonds battle it out for second. And these guys just won't stop battling it out. So, but Wesley Carter's got to love to see that. But Seth LaCroix coming hard here. Up to 4th. And even with them side by side, Edmonds and Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to close that gap up with the leader, Wesley Carter. Now Edmonds getting to the inside of Wesley Carter. Only 3 laps left to go in stage 2. Edmonds is there, and there's a huge bottleneck at the front of this one. Those cars on new tires trying to make their way around the ones on the old tires. Edmonds unable to complete the pass. But here comes Seth LaCroix, and he's looking to thread the needle between Edmonds and Omar Rodriguez Jr. I don't think he wants to push it quite yet. He's still in position to get some stage points here. And now LaCroix going to get by Omar Rodriguez Jr. Joseph Truskowski trying to join him here. Looks like Truskowski's going to join him, but Wesley Carter going to win stage 2. After a bold move not to pit with the rest of the field. Oh, correction, we do have one more lap. I do apologize, guys. So they come off of turn 4, and now Wesley Carter gonna take stage 2. Josh Edmonds finishing stage 2 in 2nd. Seth LaCroix in 3rd. Joseph Truskowski in 4th. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in 5th. Tristan Haynes in 6th. Jerry Ward 7th. Joseph Miller in 8th. Dawson Price in 9th. And Nicholas Warner gonna round out your top 10. All right, and I stand corrected, folks. I've just been informed. The 83 was the end of stage 2. So we are going to keep going here, and that is my fault. We had a smudge on the paper there. The 3 looked like an 8, so we are in stage 3 now. Wesley Carter still our leader. Now down to 60 laps to go in this one. As LaCroix and Truskowski continuing to battle it out. Truskowski getting the inside of LaCroix. And the battle is on for third. Truskowski not giving LaCroix any room. And Truskowski going to win that battle. We'll go look further back in the pack at Joseph Miller, the other Joseph, just above the cut line right now. He is now up to 7th. And looking to close that gap with Tristan Haynes. Once again, we are going to need another pit stop to get to the end of this one. And Samson LaCroix entering the chat over on YouTube, rooting for his brother Seth LaCroix, who's currently sitting in 4th place. And I am doing good, Samson. I hope you are as well. Omar Rodriguez Jr. and Joshua Edmonds continuing to battle it out here. Tristan Haynes throwing his hat into the ring as well. And they're bunched up behind Seth LaCroix right now. It looks like LaCroix might be struggling here in this dirty air. Edmonds looking for a way around his teammate now. Tristan Haynes, though, trying to make his way up to the front. He's got a fast car. We'll look back in the pack. Dawson Price trying to make his way back up to the front in this one. Currently sitting 8th. Behind Joseph Miller. Price moving up to the top of the track, seeing if he can find any grip up there and any speed. We've seen Dawson really like the top of the track at numerous other tracks. We're going to see if he can make it work here at Nashville, but it does appear that the speed is on the low line. But this track has gone through changes. We look at the weather here, that temperature still sitting at 75 degrees, so not cooling off quite as much as we saw at the beginning of this one. And Price is closing that gap up with Joseph Miller. Miller running the Iron Maiden paint scheme here tonight. Now down to only 48 laps left in this one. And we do have an update for you guys on the 2 of Hunter Geyer. He is dealing with some front end damage, but he has made his way back to the lead lap. That string of cautions and the graciousness of the ERA officials cutting him some slack for, you know, the power issues he had earlier on in this one. He is back on the lead lap, but he's going to need some cautions to get that car worked on. As we go back to the front of the pack, Joseph Truskowski now taking over the lead. He's gotten by Wesley Carter, and we're going to see Wesley Carter start to fall off here as Luke just encouraging Wesley Carter to hold on to that lead over on YouTube. Wesley Carter doesn't look like he's going anywhere, though. Down to 45 laps left in this one. I do believe those tires will have about equalized here. Wesley Carter last pitting on lap 77. Joseph Truskowski on 81. And Luke saying jinx, and yeah, Luke, I do think you jinxed him. You might owe Wesley Carter an apology after this one. So Seth LaCroix going to look for a way around Wesley Carter as this one goes on as well. And an update on Dawson Price. He was able to get by Joseph Miller as well as Tristan Haynes. Price trying to make his way back to the top 5 here, currently sitting in 6th. And he's got his eyes set on that 17 of Joshua Edmonds. Madison Carter entering the chat, cheering on Wesley Carter here. Wesley Carter on those older tires. Now LaCroix is going to get by him on the outside line. If I'm Wesley Carter right now, I'm thinking about trying to short pit here, get on some fresher tires, and put some distance between me and the rest of the drivers if it does come to that green flag run, or those green flag pit stops. Everyone getting spaced out here. So we check in with Nicholas Warner trying to fend off Connor Price in that 48. So Connor Perez going to make easy work of Nicholas Warner, trying to make his way back up to the front of the field. Joseph Truskowski still our leader, and he's going to try and fend off Seth LaCroix here. LaCroix is closing in fast, and we've got a battle getting ready to start for the lead. It looks like Joseph Truskowski able to find just a little bit more speed, opening that gap back up. Looking back at third place, Wesley Carter still showing some speed here out in front of Omar Rodriguez Jr. and Joshua Edmonds. And it looks like Nicholas Warner coming down pit road here. He's going to pit early here at lap 115. And he should be able to make it to the end here. Only about 35 laps left in this one. So Nicholas Warner going to try and short pit and make up some time on some fresh tires. As we continue to look at the battle for the lead, LaCroix not going away, putting that pressure on Joseph Truskowski. And we've been broadcasting Truskowski for quite some time between here and Nora. And he's spent a lot of time up here in the booth with the top three finishes, but has not had a podium finish here in Era. Looking for his first podium finish. But LaCroix does not want him to have that top spot. LaCroix continuing to fight hard. And some more takers on pit road. Cooper Lee already coming down now. Chris Jones as well. Jackson Sibley. Wesley Carter coming down pit road. I think that's exactly the move Wesley Carter need to make. He was sitting there in third. Looks like someone out of shape as they come down pit road as well. Saw someone sitting there in the infield. So we go back to the front. Seth LaCroix still trying to work his way around Joseph Truskowski. And looking at the lap times here, not sure how much tires are going to help these guys. The tire fall off here, only about 0.4 of a second. But for the likes of the 23 of Wesley Carter, that 0.4 of a second could make all the difference here tonight. As Lee LaCroix is saying, if you're going to pass Joseph Truskowski, you got to be careful. And LaCroix now coming down pit road. So Wesley Carter Off of pit road, getting that car back up to speed. Truskowski, Tristan Haynes, Joseph Miller, Connor Price, and Jerry Ward. The only drivers still out and yet to pit. Now Truskowski's going to bring it down pit road. Connor Price going to take over the lead here, get those bonus points for leading a lap. Jerry Ward also staying out as we are down to 30 laps to go in this one. And LaCroix is now coming off of pit road. And it looks like Wesley Carter not going to get the advantage he had hoped for as he works his way around Nicholas Warner. But he is still sitting behind Seth LaCroix. But it does look like he is going to get that position back from Joseph Truskowski. It's Connor Price. He's going to bypass pit road yet again. We check in with Wesley Carter, and I stand corrected. I thought he would carry enough speed to get by Joseph Truskowski. It looks like he is not going to be able to, though. Truskowski's gotten that car back up to speed. Now Jerry Ward's going to bring it down pit road. Connor Price looks like he's going to stretch these tires out for as long as he possibly can. Possibly hoping for a caution here. So Seth LaCroix, now our leader. He did pick up a spot over Joseph Truskowski on pit road. And pit road really seems to be where Seth LaCroix excels. He is quick on track, but he is even quicker on pit road. And if it's going to come down to green flag pit stops, he is a force to be reckoned with. And now Connor Price bringing it down pit road, and he did not get the entrance he wanted there. He gets sideways. Gonna have to get that car back up to speed on pit road. And Seth LaCroix going to take the lead back over, and he's got about 20 seconds, or correction, 4 seconds over Joseph Truskowski. So LaCroix in firm control of this one. And I think Connor Price really just wanted to hold out and hope for a caution that never came. Back in the pack, though, Dawson Price has closed that gap up with Wesley Carter, trying to find a way to work around him. Wesley Carter sitting in position for that podium, but not if Dawson Price has anything to say about it. But here comes Joseph Miller. We were talking about him early on in the show. He was back in the pack, and we're talking about where he stands in the point standings. Miller currently tied for 10th with Joseph Truskowski. Needs a good finish here to continue to be able to compete for that cut line position. And this is exactly what he's going to need. Connor Price, the first driver below the cut line, currently sitting back here in 10th. We go back up to the front of the pack to watch the battle for third that is getting ready to take place here. Checking in with Connor Price as well, and he is looking to close that gap up with David Joyner. Only 0.4 of a second between them. Connor Price slowly reeling Joyner in. And back up towards the front of the pack, Dawson Price back trying to work that higher line. You see him about one lane up from the bottom as he goes through the corner. I don't know if it's going to work for him. Wesley Carter dealing with lap traffic in front of him. Carter going to make quick work of that as the lap traffic moves up the track. Now down to just 16 laps left to go. And back towards the lead, Seth LaCroix in firm control of this one, 4 seconds over Joseph Truskowski. And Truskowski's going to need a caution if he wants any hope of catching up to that leader, Seth LaCroix. Dawson Price backing off of Wesley Carter, trying to find a good run, but time is running short. Now down to 14 laps left in this one. And Wesley Carter really doing an excellent job here today. Started 12th up to 3rd here in this one. That tire strategy, that pit strategy for that 23 of Wesley Carter really paying off here as he continues to fend off Dawson Price. Very good defensive driving by Wesley Carter. Now down to 12 to go in this one. Dawson Price backing off a little bit, trying to get those tires cooled off. We'll go back check in with Connor Price. He was able to get around David Joyner, sitting about 0.6 of a second back from Omar Rodriguez Jr., but closing in there. And we've got a battle brewing between Tristan Haynes and Nicholas Warner as we are down to 10 laps left in this one. So Tristan Haynes going to clear Nicholas Warner. Omar Rodriguez Jr. looking to get by him as well. Nicholas Warner struggling as this one has gone on. Now Connor Price has his sights set on that 3 car. We're still keeping track of the battle between Dawson Price and Wesley Carter. About 0.3 of a second separating those two. Connor Price, he makes contact with Nicholas Warner. They're out of shape. They're able to keep it straight. Now Hunter Geyer looking to the inside of Nicholas Warner, and they touch. So the excitement has calmed down for now. Back to that battle for third. 7 laps left in this one. I'm not sure how well you guys could hear it, but it definitely sounded like we have a driver in the wall. If I'm not mistaken, that is Josh Edmonds in that 17 car, hard into the outside wall. And that is going to bring out the yellow flag. Edmonds very slow on track, unable to get that car down to pit road. That happened in turns 1 and 2. We're going to go back, take a look, and see what exactly caused that 17 to get up in the wall. And he's out here all by himself. And it looks like he just got loose coming off of turn 4 there. Puts it in the outside wall right in front of the start and finish line, and he's keeping it up there. Does not want to ruin anyone else's race. So very courteous of that 17 to keep it up there, but that is going to change everything for his teammate. You see heavy damage to that right side. And we have some takers on pit road now. Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to come down pit road. Nicholas Warner, David Joyner, Eric Rodman, Jerry Ward, Josh Edmonds, Hunter Geyer, Chris Jones, and Jackson Sibley all bringing it down pit road. So 8 cars going to stay out here. So when the green flag drops, it'll be Seth LaCroix in control of the restart, Joseph Truskowski in second, Wesley Carter in third, Dawson Price in fourth, Joseph Miller in fifth, Tristan Haynes will restart sixth, and seventh will be Connor Price, Omar Rodriguez Jr. in eighth, Nicholas Warner in ninth, and David Joyner rounding out the top 10. It looks like we're only going to have about a 3-lap shootout once it goes back green flag racing. So they are doubled back up, getting ready to go green flag. And a quick recap here. We will be dropping the green flag. Lap 148 of 150. Seth LaCroix, your leader. We've had a total of 6 cautions tonight and 3 lead changes in this one. They're going to come off of turn 4. Pace car hits pit road. LaCroix in control of this one, but watch out. Truskowski is hungry for that win. I wouldn't put it past him. He's already trying to move down low, not wanting to let Seth LaCroix get away as that green flag waves. Now Truskowski going to try the outside line. He's got a nose to the outside of LaCroix. Truskowski's going to get a run down the backstretch here. As the battle is on for second as well. Wesley Carter. Oh, Tristan Haynes going through the pack. That's going to bring out a caution. Not sure what happened with Tristan Haynes there. Saw Nicholas Warner sliding up the track. He was tight. Oh, and he moved down, tried to block Connor Price, and Connor Price did not lift with only 2 laps left in this one. So that's going to bring out our 7th caution of the night and set up a green-white checkered finish. Tristan Haynes' night's going to end in frustration. And it looks like no change within the top 5 here. Seth LaCroix still your leader. Truskowski in second. Carter in third. Dawson Price in fourth. And Joseph Miller rounding out your top 5. Connor Price going to move up to 6th with that move by Tristan Haynes. All right, and they'll get the 1-to-go signal this time by. Lights on the pace car going to go out as they double him back up. Truskowski moving back to that outside line. And you saw him putting that pressure on that 88 of Seth LaCroix. And when it comes to speed, they're about equal, and these cautions are going to let them get those tires cooled off. And looking at our scoreboard, it looks like Seth LaCroix is on only right side tires under that last pit stop. So Joseph Truskowski, Wesley Carter, Dawson Price all took 4. LaCroix only taking 2 the last time they were on pit road. Now, all these laps they've run since, they've had time for those tires to equalize. But we'll see if 2 tires was the move, or Joseph Truskowski is going to get a little bit of an advantage on this restart as they go through turns 3 and 4 and get ready. And that pace car is off. Green flag is out. And Wesley Carter told Joseph Truskowski, "You're not pulling down in front of me here." He gets right on that bumper of Seth LaCroix, and I think he even gave him a shove there. Carter running Truskowski up the track. I don't think Carter was a fan of that move by Truskowski there. Truskowski now out of shape. Oh, man, I know he is fuming in that car right there. Wesley Carter, though, up the track. He gets put into the wall. White flag is out. Next flag ends the race. Is Joseph Miller now on the outside wall. Mayhem breaking loose at the end of this one. Joseph Truskowski back to second. Omar Rodriguez Jr. to third. And Seth LaCroix going to take home the win as the tempers flare behind him. So LaCroix takes first, Truskowski takes second, Omar Rodriguez Jr. finishes third, but we've got to go back and take a look at this. It's going to take a minute for the ERA officials to get this one worked out with everything that happened there at the end of this. We'll take a look from the restart here. Keep your eye on Wesley Carter. He didn't give Seth LaCroix a shove, but got right up on that bumper. Was not giving Truskowski any room as they came off the corner. That really killed all of Truskowski's momentum. Joseph Miller is trying to get a move on Truskowski as well. And Wesley Carter just driving it too hard. Almost hits the outside wall. Gets into, or Dawson Price gets into him. And then we've got to go back and watch what happened here with Joseph Miller. Saw him getting into some trouble as well. Take it from the green flag yet again. Miller in that 16 Iron Maiden car. It looks like Miller sliding up the track. That's what allowed Joseph Truskowski get back in front of him, and he made Truskowski moved up into Miller, made contact with him, got him out of shape just before they went into the corner. So a very exciting finish here. looks like Seth LaCroix has completed that celebration. We're going to go ahead and move on to our post-race interviews, and we're going to kick it off with Omar Rodriguez Jr. Omar, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Got you loud and clear, man.
All right, man. Take me through that last lap, because honestly, I'm trying to figure out where you came from in that last lap. Seemed like you were a few rows back. What happened there?
So I was the second car on new tires. I was first on that first restart, the first green-white checker, basically. But I had gotten past just because of all the commotion. So on the second one, when I launched, having the inside line, I had a bit more of an advantage this time around. And I was just able to build up a huge run going onto the backstretch. I don't really know what happened with the 5 cars between me and second, but they all just kind of got out of the way. I don't know if they overcooked the corner. I think someone got spun, and I managed to make it up to, I believe, 4th. And then going into turn 1, I don't know what happened between Truskowski and Miller, but Truskowski, I don't know if he threw a late block or what happened. He forces Miller, or Miller gets, Miller messes up or something. Slams on the brakes a little bit, and I'm right there, and I just kind of slam into the back of him, and he just goes onto the apron and into the outside wall. I don't even know how I got here, man. I was running pretty pitifully all night.
And we had kept our eye on you all night, and you were about a mid-pack runner. And yeah, it looked like a lot of the excitement. So what led you to be here? Was there any talk in the iRacing chat? What was going on those last 2 laps? Because it definitely, from up here in the booth, definitely looked like some tempers were going to be flaring here.
During the race, not so much. After the race, I think it'd be fair to say a couple people weren't happy with how things resulted. Whether it be just where they got race dirty, or they dropped a few spots or what have you. I think most of us are going to be able to brush it off, but a couple things might have gotten a little chippy there.
All right. Well, we'll be looking out for that next week. We're going to let you get on out of here. Before we do, though, anyone you want to shout out?
Absolutely, man. Want to shout out my girlfriend for tuning into the broadcast. I believe I might have some friends tuned in as well, so got to thank the people supporting me. Got to shout you out for putting on another amazing broadcast as always. I'd like to shout out the admin team here, starting with Dawson, just for putting the league together, and for all the drivers for showing up and making the league as good as it's been all these weeks.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here next week.
Thank you, man. Much appreciated.
Thank you. All right, folks. Once again, that was Omar Rodriguez Jr., and we're going to move on to our second place finisher. He's back. Joseph Truskowski. Joseph, it's all up in the booth. You got me? And Joseph, I do believe you are on mute. We're going to try and get that sorted out here. All right, there we go. Joseph, you got me?
Yeah, I do. Awesome.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Rebel Racing Network booth. How does it feel to get a top 2 finish in your first podium here in ERA?
Oh, man, it's a long time coming. I really wanted to win that one there. Seth gets away again with a 2-tire stop that pays off. I'm never learning my lesson that taking 4 never works in the next gen, but yeah, I should have won that race, to be honest with you. There was some teammate manipulation there with the 88 and the 23. I mean, I don't know. He came up the track, kind of killed my whole run, and I knew he was going to jump on me early on that restart after I had a good restart on the prior restart. And it didn't go my way tonight to get it done, but can't be disappointed with my points on the night. Really needed that. But yeah, and I do want to apologize to the 16 Miller. That was not intentional, and I did get into him his left front a little down the front straight, but Sorry about that to him. I know that sent him back. But all in all, it was a fun race. I enjoy Nashville in the Cup car. I just wish the tires would fall off a little more.
Yeah, we were keeping an eye on tire fall off all night. It seemed like it wasn't really happening, and it didn't really matter when you took tires, as long as you didn't run too long on them, you were good to go. But take me back to that battle with Wesley Carter. Right from the jump there, it looked like he was right on LaCroix's bumper there. Did he give LaCroix a shot on the back at the initial restart there?
Oh, yeah, you can see. I'm sure there was some communication there for I'm going, and if you watch it back, he started going even before Seth did, and then they got a little slingshot there. And then I was just trying to stay on his door, and then I went into one, and I was coming down, trying to hold the top there. I get to his quarter again, and then I'm being a little patient with the throttle there just to not lose it. And he comes riding up into me, and it is what it is on that, but it's how it goes when you're fighting for yourself out here.
Yep, and I do got to ask, so we're going back. We've got the, not the last restart, the restart before that up on the broadcast right now. Do you think him getting there on LaCroix's bumper like that may have been a response to you coming down the track on the second to last restart there?
Second to last one. I was clear.
You were definitely clear. You were definitely clear, but you shut that door quick on him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looked like he said that is not going to happen again here. And unfortunately, it looks.
I was surprised I even got that jump, but it's hard to keep it on the outside in anything in iRacing, so I kept it. I just had to have a good enough restart to get down in front of him, and then I knew I could go after Seth. And then I heard you say that he took two, and I figured he took two, but I was gonna have him there.
Oh,
but fun race. So.
Definitely a fun race, even funner to broadcast. We are going to let you get on out of here, but we want to say welcome back once again. And before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, thanks. It's been a little bit of a grind here in this Cup car. Things haven't been going super great for me recently in racing, but you just got to keep your nose down and keep grinding, and that's racing. And yeah, thank you for broadcasting, Seth, Dawson, the Prices, everybody that keeps this league going, and I've been enjoying it, and have a good one.
All right, we appreciate it, buddy. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and once again, that was Joseph Truskowski coming home second tonight, but we're going to move on to tonight's winner, Seth LaCroix. Seth, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
All right, man. Congratulations on yet another win at yet another track that you say you hate.
That was true before I started this week, but I got myself an A official win and an NIS win here, so I definitely learned the track this week, as you can see. So I love this track. This is my favorite track.
I don't know if you want to say that just yet, just in case this comes up in next season's schedule, because it seems like every track that you can't stand running, you end up dominating and taking home the win. But definitely put in the work from the sounds of it this week.
Well, next week is Talladega. We know how I feel about that track, but
come on, just say it. You might need that luck.
No, please, someone. No, just whatever. Everything's great. So.
All right. But this race definitely going to have implications in the point standings. You did take over the lead, and this is going to open up your lead greatly over David Joyner, who you had a 11-point lead on coming into this one. Joyner came home in fifth, so locking in that first place position for the chase. How did it feel to go into the chase strong with this one with only 2 races left?
Feels great, especially considering my first 4 races. I feel like I got like taken out on just about every one. I had some really bad luck. So, I think that's 3 wins in a row. It's last week's Sonoma was a very fortunate ending, right place, right time. But hard work's been paying off, and I look forward to starting the chase with a lead. That's for sure. But those are some great tracks too in the chase. So
yep, and I've got to ask. So you said it was a fortunate ending at Sonoma. What are your thoughts on the ending here? I'm not sure how much you looked in your rearview mirror once you got clear of everyone, but you had to hear about it. What are your thoughts on the ending there?
Well, the first green-white checker, I think it was, or maybe it wasn't green-white checker, but the second to last restart, I really I took turn 1 like a wimp and let Trukowski get to my outside. And I did end up clearing him before the caution came out, but that was a really good learning tool for the last restart. And the last restart, I waited till Wesley, who was right behind me, till I saw him accelerate, and then I accelerated. So he kept Trukowski busy. And then I made sure I didn't wimp out in turn 1 this time, and it just looked like carnage behind me. I don't know what happened, but I knew about halfway through turn 1. I was like, well, this race is over. So I was pretty upset at my teammate for bringing out that caution, because obviously I had that one going away, and I honestly thought he might have lost me the race, because I was a little scared with Joseph. I'm starting the outside with 2 laps to go. I was like, oh God, but it was good. Joseph raced me extremely clean all night. It was a good race.
Good race between y'all two, but I think that rivalry, and I know Lee LaCroix is probably about to chime in the chat here. I know that rivalry is coming back alive, and we did hear some certain driver did think there was some communication between you and Wesley Carter before that restart. Any comment on that?
No, like I said, I'm just watching in my mirror, and I wanted it. At some point, the box, you get like what, 2.5 seconds in that box doing the pace speed. And so at some point, if you know what you're doing, if you're the second car on the inside, you basically want to bump the leader. And if the leader's paying attention, you'll both go together. And so as soon as I saw him accelerate, I nailed the gas, and it was kept Trukowski busy, and it's all I needed to get out of there. I just, like I said, the restart before that was a massive learning, whatever tool, because we did like 40 something laps green flag, and I kind of forgot what my car was going to feel like on the restart, and it almost cost me the race. So good race. It was unfortunate. There's some cars up there that were on their way to having a great finish, and for various reasons, crap went haywire. So Joseph Miller and Wesley both, they ran, and Tristan. I actually got to go back and look and see what happened to Tristan. I mean, Tristan was super strong. If he had taken the dirty air in second place, was so hard to overcome. So if he had taken the lead, he would have been hard to pass, because he had the speed for sure.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We're going to let you get on out of here. Before we do, though, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, my father. I didn't mean to forget him last week, or Sonoma, but him and my mom are both watching, so love you guys. My brother and my buddy Chris, Liquid, got a win for the old Burger King LaCroix, as they say. So, and thanks everyone for watching, and thank you, Austin.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here next week.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Once again, that was Seth LaCroix taking home the win here as he looks forward to Talladega next Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Make sure you guys tune in for that. We're going to go ahead and run through our official results here. And once again, taking home the win was Seth LaCroix. Joseph Truskowski comes home in second. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in third. Jerry Ward finishes fourth. David Joyner in fifth. Dawson Price will finish sixth. Connor Price in seventh. Nicholas Warner in eighth. Cooper Liardi finishes 9th. Eric Rodeman will finish 10th. Joseph Miller in 11th. Wesley Carter will finish 12th. Hunter Geyer in 13th. Tristan Haynes finishes 14th. Josh Edmonds will come home 15th. Chris Jones in 16th. 17th was Curtis Stanford. Jackson Sibley finishes 18th. And rounding out your field in 19th was Russell Abbott. Make sure you guys tune in next week for Talladega. Only 2 races left until the chase, and we just had a huge shakeup in points. It looks like Connor Price is now going to be inside that chase cut line, and Joseph Miller is going to be on the outside looking in here. So make sure you tune in next Sunday night at 8 p.m. But before that, Wednesday evening, we will have the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live from Daytona for their season opener. Make sure you tune in to that at 8:30 and stay tuned on our Facebook page. If you've not done so already, please like and follow over there as well as on YouTube, because we do have a new league coming to you guys Thursday nights starting June 18th, and we will be releasing more information as the weeks go on. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you back here on Wednesday.